Hey folks, welcome back. I find myself in a position this week that I think a lot of makers get themselves into, where I have so many projects that I want to do and that I'm currently working on that I can't focus on just one of them. My brain will not let me just sit down and focus on one thing. So rather than force my way through it, I figured I like watching people's craft vlogs, I guess, seeing what they're up to and what they're currently working on. So I figured, why not take this opportunity to show you what I'm working on, show you what I'm planning on working on, what's on my to-do list, what I still need to get done, and let it be that. And maybe as I go through this, it won't seem like such a daunting list, because right now it feels like I have a lot of things to do. I guess first and foremost is, I'm not sure if you remember just a few weeks ago when I said this, get all of my fabrics out and visible so that maybe I can stop hoarding them. Well, just as I predicted, I absolutely did not stop shopping for fabric. And that's not entirely fair because I didn't go out specifically looking for fabrics. They found me as I was out and about. So let me show you what I have brought home recently, and I can talk about maybe some of the plans that I have for it. And some of it I have absolutely no plans for right now. So if you have any ideas, I am all ears. Let me go grab that stuff. As you can see, I did not hold back. I couldn't help it. I really couldn't. This is all really good stuff. Actually, this is also included. So I've talked about this stuff before, but when my husband and I got married, I bought an entire bolt of white cotton, and I still have so many yards. I mean, this bolt must have been 200 yards of 60-inch white cotton fabric. I don't know, it was huge, and I think I only bought it for like $100. So I am still finding it everywhere. And this is a big giant chunk of that. But I can use it for mock-ups. I also am going to, for real, try to make one of the like pirate shirts that Bernadette Banner talks about. I didn't pay for this recently, but I'm still finding it all over the place. I also have this cotton tablecloth in this really beautiful burnt orange. Again, I don't quite have a plan for this, but I will. I'm gonna make something out of it before fall rolls around because it's beautiful and it's so perfect for fall. I actually bought this for real, bought it off of Etsy. I'm gonna link the shop below because anytime I need really good patterns in a nice thin cotton, I always go to this shop. It's Indian block print, and I've done a couple of orders through this person before, and I always love what they send. I do have a plan for this. It's gonna be a surprise, sort of. So this one is already called for. I also found 3 small-ish tablecloths in this print. It is kind of a nice thicker cotton. It's almost like a canvas, and I paid $2 a piece for these. Hopefully I can make this work, but my plan would be to maybe make some sort of like piratey jacket, you know, where it's kind of flared out at the waist and then it has the big cuffs. I think that'd be really cool. So that's what I'm gonna use this for, and I'm gonna make it work. This is probably my most recent acquisition. I haven't counted how many yards are here, but I paid $3 for this. I picked it up for 2 reasons. One, it's kind of thicker. It does have some body to it. And then the second reason is I have this sneaking suspicion that it might be silk. It doesn't feel like polyester. It kind of sounds like polyester, but also I know that there are silks that have good body to them. When I did a burn test on it, it didn't ball up in those hard plastic balls that polyester does. So I am really wondering if this is at least partially silk. Because if it is, wow. If it is, there are probably 4 or 5 yards here, and to get it for $3 is insane. I'm gonna try dyeing a small piece of it as well, just to see how it takes dye, and that might help me figure out a little bit better. I also found 2 bed sheets in this really lovely peachy color. I found them at separate times, but they are the exact same shade. And I have a plan for this, but once again, it's gonna be a little bit of a surprise. So this is coming up, I don't know when, but later. And then finally, these found me. I did not find them. I have a friend who he and his buddy make tie-dyed hammocks, and they're really, really cool and they're beautiful. But they had some bolts of fabric that they bought but never use for a variety of reasons. So he gave me 2 bolts of remainders of this nylon ripstop fabric. So I have this color, and then I have kind of an olivey green as well. This is treated so that it is water resistant. The other one is not. And I'm trying to figure out what to do with this stuff. I have been making tote bags with this just to see how it kind of flows under a sewing machine, and it does beautifully. But if you have any ideas about this that might be a little unique, send them my way, because while he gave me 2 of these very generously, he did say that he has a bunch of them, and if I can figure out something cool to do with them, I wouldn't have any problem purchasing them from him and doing the cool things. I'm not making hammocks though. I won't do that. So anyway, that is my current fabric stash. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but still, for like a month, it's a lot. Whatever. I'm gonna put this stuff away, and then we are going to go on to part 2. Hold up. Boop. All right, speaking of tote bags, I have been working on kind of prototyping an easier way to make tote bags, especially if you're trying to hide the raw edges without French seaming or finishing them, or if you don't have an overlocker like me. I do have a couple of tote bags that I've been working on, and this is made out of that nylon ripstop. And then you might remember this fabric from my big craft supply haul. I wasn't sure how I felt about the fabric, but in a tote bag, I kind of love it. So I've just been prototyping a different method of making tote bags. I think I'm gonna refine that just a little bit more and share that with everybody, because I'm almost at the point where I think I can make one of these bags in like 10-15 minutes. The way that I'm making them, they are essentially lined. That's one of the projects that I've been working on, and I'm pretty excited about that. Another big project I've been working on is prototyping an easy quilt, and I hate to say it like that, but you guys know I have done some quilting, very, very minute amounts of quilting on here, and I just don't find the process to be relaxing or fun. But I love having a big blanket that I made to snuggle up in. I don't want to give too much away, but this is the prototype. I saw something similar in one of those bougie ass stores downtown one day, and the price was like $200, and my husband and I are looking at these and I'm like, I can make one of those for a lot less than $200. Well, if you're doing it by hand the way that I am, $200 completely makes sense. There's the back and there's the front. Again, I got this fabric from that same seller in India that I was telling you about. So again, I will put that link in the description so that you can buy fabric from her, because it's amazing. I'm excited to get this done and then do one for real to show you guys how I do it. I know there's other projects that I'm working on, but I can't remember what they are or where they are, so I may talk about those later. Another crafty-ish project that I'm looking to do is taking thrifted button-up shirts like this and kind of zhuzhing them up a little bit, or altering them in a way that's accessible to a lot of people with a lot of different skills. This shirt fits me very, very well, and I really like it, but it's also a little bit boring. So I'm gonna work on maybe adding a pattern to it or something to just make it a little bit more unique. Like I said, I'm testing that stuff out just to see if it's worth kind of making videos about, or if I just make sure it's worse than they actually are. I will say I don't often prototype stuff before I do videos on it, because part of this whole channel is the learning process, but I do practice some things just to see if they can maintain my attention long enough to actually make a video out of. Those are just some things that I am working on to see if it's worth sharing with anybody. We'll see how that goes. The last few things that are taking up an inordinate amount of space in my brain are getting kind of the rest of this workshop done. There may be folks that are watching this right now that feel the same way that I do. Once I put stuff in its place, I am done. I am not working on whatever project came before that, because it is finished. It has been flushed out of my brain and it no longer exists. Part of the problem with this workshop is I was so excited to get in that I didn't do some of the finishing projects I needed to do, and I just said, I will do those later. That is a problem for later Katie. Well, I am now later Katie, and things need to be done. One of the big things is I really, really need to insulate the rafters and put up a ceiling so that I can get the light fixtures up and so that the temperature is a little more regulated in here, because right now if I don't turn the air conditioner on, it jumps up to about 96 degrees. I really need to get that done, but I am so not looking forward to it because it's a lot of work and it's expensive. If I'm going to work out here in the summer and in the winter, I just need it to be a little bit more temperature regulated. Past Katie, you suck for not doing that, but I forgive you. The other part is getting this corner of my world more set, I guess. And that's not really the right word for it, but just continuing to refine this corner to make it what I want it to be. Getting this mural up was the big kickstart that my brain needed to really turn this corner into what I've had in my brain forever. I love the mural. I come out here sometimes and I add little pieces to it if I need to relax for a little bit. And as I was kind of purchasing things for this workshop, I picked up like gold accents that I think go really well with the mural. And I think at the time I didn't know I was gonna actually do the mural, but they all go together really well. So I'm gonna continue decorating this side. I need to finish the wall with the door. I haven't done it yet, and it keeps staring at me, and it's gonna get to the point where I can't ignore it anymore. So I do need to finish that wall, and just thinking about it is overwhelming. I also need to put a ceiling up underneath this loft, if nothing else so that maybe it can bounce some more light down now that I've taken it away from the back wall. And I know I keep threatening to finish the windows, but we have seen how fast that's actually going. What's really cool is that I have started collecting little like decorative knickknacks and things that go with the theme of this, and I'm so excited about this part. I've never been a big decorator, but I may have found my aesthetic, and it's like I know exactly what I want to include in this. One of the first things I hung up was my little dragonfly up here. As the workshop was being built, he actually got trapped in here and unfortunately did not make it out. So I don't know if that's weird or what, but rather than throw his carcass outside, I am putting him on display so that I can appreciate his beauty. Maybe it's a she, I don't know, but she now lives in my workshop and I love her. And as I'm cleaning out my house, I'm finding things that also work with kind of the idea of the decor. I have a couple of plants in, they're not shadow boxes, but in frames that I have collected from like different parts of the country that I'm gonna put up on the wall as well. And then stupid Michaels had stuff on clearance that I could not buy. So look at this. This is the vibe we're going for here. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but it was like $9 and it's really cool. So I had to buy it. I didn't have to, but boy, as soon as I saw it, I think I went, They also had one with bugs on it, but I didn't think that was quite the mark I was looking for. Also, kind of in the plant vibe, Michael's had these guys on clearance for $3. Just little like flowers, but I'm going to kind of brush the ends of them with gold paint, with that bronzy gold, coppery gold, whatever, and then I'm gonna put them up on the wall. That way we get some 3D art up there as well. I mean, they're just made out of foam, but I thought they were really cool. I also really need to get my workbench in here. However, this workbench is like 350 pounds and I have to get it all the way across my yard. And it has wheels, but my yard is bumpy. And then I have to get it up over the wooden pad frame, and then I have to get it onto the gravel. And then I have to lift it like a foot to get into the workshop. I don't know how I'm not strong enough to do this. My husband and I are not strong enough to do this. We are not Iron Men. We are not strong heavy lifters, which is why it's been living in my garage for about a month and I can't park in my garage space. I am worried about filming that part because A, there's a very real possibility that I could get hurt trying to figure this out, but also I'm pretty sure I'm gonna look like a dog trying to figure out how to get its treat from like a place it can't reach. I don't know, that's a weird analogy, but it needs to get in here because I really want to do some leather work, but I am just stumped with how to get it in here. And I don't want to buy ramps, like those four-wheeler ramps, just to get this stupid thing in here, because I will never ever use those ramps again except to get it out of here. And honestly, at this point, nothing is coming out of this ever. Also, I have these sets of shutters that I really need to get hung up. I bought a barn door slider hardware kit that I'm gonna put them on so that I can slide them around if I need to get changed and I need to block the front door. But the hardware for it is really, really heavy, and I started to read the instructions for how to install this, got confused, and had to take a nap. I'm gonna try that again at some point here in the near future so that I can get these things off the floor, and then I can bring in one of the last bookcases from inside. I really want to transform that space that used to be my workspace into like a sitting room, but I have to get all my garbage out of there first. And that is one of the last big pieces of furniture that I need to get in here, but I need to have a space for it, and I know where I want it to live, but the shutters are in the way. This is all dominoes or puzzles, I don't know. So hopefully you can see why I am a little overwhelmed right now. It is a lot of things floating around in my brain, and I'm having trouble prioritizing any of them, which means that I will probably ignore most of them. So I'm gonna go write everything down, and then I am going to try to focus on at least some of them so that I can be productive and free up some space in my brain, because I absolutely need to have some space available in my head because it's full. Anyway, if you want updates for any of the things that I've talked about, or you want to see any of my future projects that are coming up, don't forget to subscribe, because I try a bunch of things. Sometimes they are successful, sometimes they're not. Give this video a like because I need as much encouragement as I can get, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you, bye! Oh no, maybe it's not too bad. That's probably fine, right?